experience with leadership came when I was in high school and I was asked to lead a small high school band. This took me by surprise because I was a vocalist. I didn't play an instrument. But my teacher, Miss Green, said that I had a good ear, I could keep time, and people liked me. She also reminded me that the voice was an instrument. Then she gave me the 4 pillars of good leadership. Number 1, understand the needs of the band. Number 2, encourage them to do well and give them the tools they need to succeed. Number 3, listen to them and encourage them to make decisions. Number 4, lead by example. You must exhibit the attitude and behavior that you want them to display. And be performance ready in 3 weeks. The other members of the band were a drummer, piano player, and also a horn player. We had 3 weeks, so the first thing we did was to select our song. We chose Hard Work by John Handy. It was mostly instrumental with the words hard work dispersed throughout. So we set our rehearsal for the following week, and I gave homework for them to learn the song completely, backwards and forwards. At the first rehearsal, most of the band was late. When they finally gathered together, I gave them some warm-up exercises. We warmed up our body, we warmed up our instruments, and then I had them introduce themselves and tell us a little bit about themselves, sort of an icebreaker. And this broke the ice and everybody began to relax. Then I addressed the tardiness. I told them how it was important for us to begin on time and end on time if we wanted to do a good job, and that we needed to be performance ready in 3 weeks, and we needed all the time we could get. You don't understand, this was hard for me. I was notoriously late. I had to be somewhere at 10 o'clock. I left my house at 10 o'clock. But I could hear Miss Green's voice said, "You must lead by example." So the piano player suggested that we implement a late fee for those who were tardy, more than 5 minutes. So we talked about it and we decided on how much it would be, $2. And so we decided we would do that late fee. And now on with the rehearsal. So I had everybody play the song as it is, and I counted it all, 5, 6, 7, 8, and they played. Now the pianist and horn player, they could really play, but the drummer was off. He was playing over everybody else, and his timing was terrible. But I knew that we would do a good job because my reputation depended on it. We were a motley crew, but we would get through it, and we did. So I put on my thinking cap, what to do. So I had each one of them play the whole song separately, and then had the other instruments come in. So we could just kind of have fun with it, and we did, and we got better. We started to have fun, and we even harmonized the words, hard work. But the drummer was still off. He was just playing the cymbals and all over the place. So he asked me if I would ask my brother to give him some lessons, to come to our rehearsal and work with him. He knew my brother played the drums. Now this would be a huge ask because my brother was a very popular guy. He was in high school, he was one of the cool guys, and it wasn't going to be an easy ask, and I knew it would cost us. So I talked to them about it, but they decided that it was worth it if we could get the drummer on board. So I agreed to ask my brother. We finished that rehearsal. When I got home, I talked to my brother and I asked him if he would please come and work with this drummer. he thought about it and wasn't sure about it. And finally he said, okay, all right, I'll come to your rehearsal and I'll work with this dude. But you have to do my laundry for 2 weeks. You have to wash my clothes, you have to iron them. And each of those other guys in the band, they have to do a favor for me when I ask. You know, maybe it's raking up some leaves, but they have to be available to do that. So I immediately agreed because I knew it was going to cost me. And he came to the next rehearsal. When he saw who the drummer was, he had another condition. He wanted the drummer to introduce him to his sister. The drummer agreed to ask her, and we got on with the rehearsal, and we got so much better working with my brother. The drummer really started to hear the music and listen to the rest of the band. We finally decided that we would give the piano player a solo and give the horn player a solo, then the rest of us would come in and the drummer would keep the time, and I even got a vocal scat solo. So all was going well. At the next rehearsal, the drummer's sister came to the meeting, and when she saw my brother, she was so enamored. Turns out that she had eyes for him all along. So all was going well. Then at the end of that rehearsal, she asked us, what are you guys going to wear? Well, of course, we hadn't even thought about that. So she suggested that we wear black pants, a colorful top, and a black vest. We thought this was a great idea. I worked with the other members to get their outfits together. On the day of the performance, we were so excited and nervous. But let me tell you, when I put that vest on, and I walked out on that stage, I became and was transformed into a band leader. And I cannot tell you what we did because I had an out-of-body experience, but we finished to a standing ovation. Leading was challenging and fun. It took me way out of my comfort zone. I had to be on time. I had to speak up for myself. I had to advocate for others. But I was rewarded with great confidence. I learned how to communicate and how to listen and to step back when it was necessary. Was it hard work? Yes, but it was so worth it.